Hi, this is Wee from Weecon Wargaming with another the Boyz GT 2017 AOS recap. So, if you've been watching all of my other videos, this is Game 5, and where I recap the armies that were played, the mission that we played, and how it went. Just to give you a little bit of a more Cold Zones version of the games. Accompanying the raw feed video that is also uploaded to YouTube. So, in my game 5, which is the last game of the Boyz, I was at 2-2 at the event so far, and this was the last game. I played against a guy named Mike Simeon, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm gonna go with that. He's a really cool guy. He's from Toronto as well, as well as the same as Zach, the Games Workshop at Young and Lawrence. So both of those guys hang out there. Both really knowledgeable, really cool, chill guys, and they know their stuff, and they're really they're great. They're great guys to play against. So I'm gonna have to play them a lot more. So let's just go over his list. So he brought Ironjawz. His Ironjawz look really cool. They were the purple ones. So he had an Orc Mega Boss, or Orc Mega Boss, a War Chanter, a Weird Omp Shaman, and a Grot Shaman. He also had Brutes. So I think he had, what, 4 units of Brutes? 5 units of Brutes, of 5. And he also had 2 units of Gorgrunters, so 3-man Gorgrunter units. And he also had a pair of Grot Spear Chukkas, as well as an Iron Fist Battalion. Now, let me just give you one thing. These Grot Spear Chukkas, on paper, are amazing. You know, I think that they're so good, right? Especially when you take more than one, right? Like, you know, they give themselves rerolls when they're nearby each other. But in this game, it was awful. Like, I think he was trying to use them to snipe my Blade Claw catapults, but I'll tell you, across the entire game, and they kept on shooting them basically the entire game. I think he killed 1. Which is not very good, right? Like, considering the damage that they do and the range that they have. Anyways, so the mission we were playing was Scorched Earth, which is you know, 3 on his side, 3 on my side, and you can desecrate the objective on their side and get D3 victory points and all of that stuff. You know, the general flow of the game was that I kind of stayed back a lot, and he really advanced onto me, and I was just shooting him a bunch with my Blade Claw catapults, really weakening the brutes, and you know, he would charge in, my blob would deal with them, and then another blob would come in, you know, and I would just deal with them, and because the problem was he was rolling really bad for all that extra movement that destruction gets, so he was kind of dribbling in, I'd say, and because of that, and because of the dribbling in effect, he just really couldn't, I think, kill near enough Plague Monks, and I would just come back with so many knife attacks that, like, it was just dragging him down. Now, he's a really nice guy, but that's generally the whole situation. Like, so even his Mega Boss was just coming in, but then I'd come back with like 18 attacks, 18 guys, or however many, I don't know, a bunch, and just re-rolling and getting rans on 6s, and you know, just a wave of attacks, right? So that's basically the way that the game went. So as soon as like enough of his orcs were all dead, I started advancing up, and then, you know, he was never going to be able to get enough points off of me to win. And I think I only got 19 out of 20 because the differential in the points, I just didn't make it close enough to get there. But you know, it was a solid victory for the Skaven, and but I think under different circumstances, under different roles, I would have definitely have been a lot more pressured. I feel like if he came in with like 3 units of the brutes, right, that like at the same time, then it'd be a very different story, right? Then I might be all sad facing about the loss, but really, I mean, it's a game, right? So whatever. But yeah, so that's generally the flow of the game. It's it was really fun. I mean, the Ironjawz are fun. You know, they don't have to shoot a lot. Kind of reminds me of my army, except just lower model count. You know, there's a real hitty close combat element. They don't have the greatest saves. There's some shootiness, which is dangerous. But he's got a lot more fast-moving elements, right? Like the Gorgon just move very fast. I mean, they're not very hitty, so I don't worry that much about them. But you know, yeah, it's a fun list that he has, and it was enjoyable. It was definitely a very enjoyable game, and I look forward to playing Mike in the future for sure. So look forward to that. But that's essentially that's my my wrap up for Game 5. And at the end of it all, I ended up with 3 wins and 2 losses, which was good enough for 10th place in the event. Combination of for combination of generalship, painting, sportsmanship, and I think list submission, whatever. There's some extra points for that, right? So my painting I did pretty well. I mean, I think I got like 23.5 out of 25, which is the max, but not enough to get nominated, right? Which because there was like I think 4 or 5 that had max score, so obviously they would be nominated above me, but that's fine. And the only problem really is I didn't get any sports votes for anything, right? Like, so maybe I'm just a poor loser or a poor winner. I don't know. So I can't really worry too much about that. But yeah, 10th place. I'm quite happy with that. Mike, he's a great player. A lot of fun to play with. Got very great disposition. Knows his stuff. And I look forward to playing with him in the future. So that's it for my Game 5 recap. Have a good one.